do. Oh, blah 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 blah. Okay. Shit. Hey guys, what is up? It is NgynMusic here, and today I'm going to show you guys how I make my lo-fi tracks. I'm going to show you guys what I use to process them, what type of samples I use, and then just how I arrange things. I mean, lo-fi is pretty simple to make. It just requires you to pretty much loop things in a way where it works for 3.5 minutes or so. I'm going to actually first start out with making a guitar. So what I usually do first is actually I either go with the piano, a pad, Rode, or a guitar and see what type of chord progression I can make. So I'm gonna quickly try to get this done. So after fucking 30 minutes, I finally found a progression that I like for the piano, which is this. And then there's a guitar on top, which sounds like this. Together. After getting the piano and the guitar separated, I'm gonna just make sure I save this piano progression into the sampler. I just want to keep it because I'm gonna do some stuff to the piano to make it sound at least more realistic, because right now it does sound a little too robotic, as in it's played exactly at the same time and no human can just play it like that. So do I want to go with ambience or no, not ambience, yeah, for sure. And then cut this part here, and then pretty much just turn it down, put that to a track, put that to the input. All right, and then I'm going to automate the volume. Okay, I need to automate the filter on this, so bring that down, group this together, and then have it slowly fade up. Alright, so I'm already hearing a beat under this, but first I really need to make sure these pianos actually sound legitimate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all, go down to tools, and then strum, and then just see where it sounds good. So right now it sounds like this. So they're getting played right at the same time. So what I do, go into the drop down here, I go to tools, and then I use the strum. Okay, that's fine. Alright, so now I'm gonna add the beats. For the beat, I did grab a couple samples from my other tracks that I really like. I have it here. There's only just about like 5 samples. And the shaker. Take out the hats for now, and then I actually have my kick and my snare to a drum track. And then what I will do actually is to make it easier on myself, I'm going to put a low pass filter on it, and then I'm going to actually gradually bring that in, down, and then all the way up. All you really need to get lo-fi started is the chord progression, the drums, and then pretty much any other ambience. But after that, you can just pretty much copy and paste the whole entire thing, and then just pretty much filter in and out some stuff. So you can filter out your drums or the rain or the guitar and the piano. But I'm actually gonna add a melody after this. Oh yeah, main thing, the bass. I need to make a bass. But the reason why I copied the original piano over before doing the whole strum effect is because if I want to add a layer, but I don't want to use the drum patterns because it's not on time and the velocities are all different. So I copied it over to be able to just copy this and then send it to any other pattern that I wanted. I'm going to do that for the sub. I'm going to make my sub out of silent because I love silent. Yeah, sure. Okay, and then see how it sounds like with everything. So far, so good. I mean, really, I'm just filtering in and out stuff. Alright, so after everything, I actually kind of decided to put the sub back to being straight notes. Does seem a little better, but now I actually kind of want to increase the tempo. I'll probably put it to 130 and see how it sounds like. Now, I've been also thinking of actually make the melody. What I did is I actually have a sound here. I sample a lot of things, but this one is really odd. The thing that you hear right now. So originally I took the sound. It's pretty much this. This is what I use my water ball. My pits are in there. I don't care. When I used the water ball and I sampled it, I found the root note, and then I pretty much just normalized it and took away some noise, and then turned into a tone. Found the key, put it to the key. So if you guys don't know how to do that, you just right click, press E, brings it up. It should bring up the tabs, but I already rendered it. So what you can do is if you go over to regions and then pitch region, it will show you what the key of the note is. I mean, do use your ear though. Sometimes it's not perfect, but it was actually dead on. Best thing I can do actually is to make a melody on top of the piano. See if it loops properly. Alright, I'm gonna leave it like that and then I'll just change it later. Take that, delete that, and then put it on actually the lead. Bring down the reverb and actually put an OTT. And then just lower it. Actually, same thing here. I'm gonna actually put a low pass on it. Then I'm gonna actually put a little bit of a LFO panning on it just to make it sound a little bit more stereo, I would say. I have it drop out here actually. I actually forgot to add a low pass just in case if there's any low notes or is any noise still coming through. And then what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna actually start to make it sound a little bit more lo-fi. Most of the times you can get this effect by just cutting anything above or up to 300 and anything above 3K. I mean, don't do it too much because it sounds really odd. Yeah, it should be good, and the piano too. Piano does not need the bass. A little bit less than 300. Doesn't need to be that bad or that much. it's getting there. It's slowly getting there. What I'm gonna do here is actually I'm going to add one of my favorite plugins to make this sound lo-fi, and it's gonna be RC20. So I'm gonna add a little bit of warble, and I'm gonna just change it over to the wow. And I really, really love the space in the RC20. Maybe not too. Cut out any low end. Cool. And then I'm gonna actually automate the warble. This works really well on the guitar too, which I might actually do here. We'll bring it down maybe to 16%, see if it works. Alright, so the sub definitely needs some help. It's there for the very low end, but it's not there for the upper harmonics, which is kind of needed because once you start to degrade the sound, you're going to need a lot of mids. What I'm going to do after is I'm going to make it sound extremely lo-fi, and then it's going to really make it almost hard to hear the mid bass, because what's going to happen is the low end's actually going to come a little bit more, but the mid is going to die because everything else is going to be really loud. So I'm going to add a little bit of saturation. Alright, so that's pretty much the main part of it. Maybe we can do something for the guitar. RC20. What I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna try to use a preset, see if it works. I know vinyl 2 might be good. Take out the noise. Alright. So I'm gonna do the exact same thing and automate this, and then this one I can be a little bit more generous. Pretty much it. That's pretty much the main part of the lo-fi track. So after you got the main part done, verse, intro to the chorus, all you really have to do is you just gotta change a little bit in the notes. So what I did here is actually change the melody notes for the piano, which sounds like this. So with that, and then pretty much it's just the exact same thing as the first, except for pretty much the piano. And then after that, all you really have to do is at the end of the 4 bars, just cut out the piano. What I do is I cut out the piano or low cut it, and then just have the guitar playing and the lead come down. So the last thing to do with this entire track is to actually make sure it sounds even more lo-fi than it already does. I mean, at this point, it already sounds degraded as hell. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to load up a plugin that I always use on all my lo-fi tracks. It's going to be MGF Timewarp. It's going to sound really funky if I just play it right now. So it clips, it makes everything a little more soft and warm, but also it kind of does a vibrato on the entire track. What I do is I usually take this, put it aside, put this to normal, and I bring the frequency or how fast it's going to fluctuate. I bring it to like 20, and then the amount is how much is going to be applied. So I usually will have it maybe also pretty low, and then I will put the L/R pretty much away, the same amount away from the left to the right. Pretty much if you play it now. So it sounds extremely weird compared to, like, all the highs are there, and then you put this on, and now it sounds really old. Now, if you notice, the moment I put this plugin in, it actually clips. So what I do is actually put a fruity balance. Now, why -9? Well, it's because the way I process my my mastering chain is, I'll have the balance, I have a multiband to catch any transients. It's just barely touching the mid frequency band, and then I have my maximus to bring everything up. So with that, it will sound like this. Let's say you don't have this. I mean, I think it's free. I'll try to see if I can find a download description somewhere. If you don't have this, the main thing you can do, you put on a parametric EQ. You EQ out the high end a little bit. You EQ out the low end a little bit. I would use a high cutoff and maybe go around like 30. Maybe to actually 25, and then just slowly adjust the high end until you start to hear a little bit of the high end. Also could just use RC20. See if I take this off and then I put it on init preset. Okay. Now if I add a little bit of warble, like 2%. The high and the low. Yeah, and theoretically, if I put this on, sounds just as close as if I just had the other plugin. I mean, this one does make it sound even worse, but it's actually a good kind of worse. It sounds more lo-fi as I would say it, but pretty much, yeah, I'll just show you guys a preview of the song, and thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Bye.